Today, Kevin is going to be making chicken parmesan meatballs. These are from the January, February Southern Living magazine. This is the 2022 Southern Living magazine, and I just thought this recipe sounded really good. I've actually gone to the website and I got the link for the written instructions. So if you want to make this exact same recipe, it will be linked in the description right below this video. We are going to be making some changes to the recipe, so I will let you know what those changes are when we get to them. So this is what you'll need. You need 2 large eggs beaten. You need 1 pound of ground chicken meat. You need a mixture of white and dark meat. Now this does not say that it's any kind of mixture. This is what they had at Kroger, was the chicken. You can also use turkey if you want to use turkey. You're just supposed to use a mixture of it. Then you need 2 ounces of thinly sliced prosciutto. It needs to be finely chopped. This is a 3-ounce package, so we're only going to use 2 of the 3, and we're going to finely chop that. We bought the boar's head from the deli at Kroger. You need 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. You need a 1/4 cup of fresh basil. Because we are not using fresh basil, we're using basil leaves. We are using one teaspoon of basil. You need 3/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. We're using the Malden sea salt flakes. You need 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, 2 medium garlic cloves grated. We buy the garlic already minced, so you need 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. You need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You need 1/3 cup of dry red wine, and we just bought red cooking wine. It's the Kroger brand. You need 1 jar of 24 ounces of marinara sauce. We bought the Prego. It's actually 23 ounces instead of 24. It's okay. 1 ounce less will be okay. And then you need 2 ounces of grated Parmesan cheese. And you're going to need 6 ounces of mozzarella cheese. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to chop our prosciutto. We're going to measure out our cheeses, and then we'll be back.
Okay, so I've got my prosciutto all chopped up. So the first thing I'm going to do, first of all, you want your oven preheated to 450. You want a pan or a skillet that is oven safe, that you can put in the oven, and you want it to be good size. So this is the pan I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and turn on, like, I don't know, medium high heat, and I'm going to pour my olive oil in there and let that be heating up while I mix up the meatballs. So that can just be warming up while I'm going. So now we want to basically combine our chicken, just dump it in there, our eggs, pretty much everything except the white wine, marinara, and the mozzarella is going in here. The prosciutto, panko breadcrumbs, all the salts and the peppers and the basil and the red pepper flake, literally everything. And the garlic. I'll stick my hands in here anyway, so it doesn't matter if I get a little dirty. And 1/2 of your Parmesan. So that's, I'm just guessing. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm going to mix this. And it says be careful not to over mix it. I guess, I don't know why, but yeah, I guess you don't want to mush it too much. I don't know, but you do want it combined. So I do want to mix it. All right, so now you want to make about 12 meatballs, and they should be about, it says a tablespoon and a quarter, or a tablespoon, or 1 1/3 inch meatballs, but you want about 12 or 2 ounces each. So I'm thinking probably about that size. We'll have to just see. I'm just going to lay them on my cutting board. And once my oil gets hot in my pan, I'm going to cook them in the pan until they're brown on all sides, and go from there. So that's what I'm working towards, making the meatballs, put them in the pan, and then get them browned on all sides. So I made 13, so I'm going back and adding a little bit to these, so even though I didn't have one big enough. So I'm going to get some of the smaller ones and stick some more chicken on it. Though luckily this is so sticky that it's really easy to just add some more to them. Okay, so I've got 12 meatballs. I did have to go make sure they were bigger, so they're big meatballs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get these in my pan. They're getting brown. And I think they're gonna be brown before they're actually done inside. So I may, just gonna be careful to make sure I keep them flipped over pretty regularly. And it doesn't say you have to cook them fully now. It's basically saying you can cook them like in the oven with the mozzarella and the cheese and stuff on there. But I still like to get them pretty close to being done in this pan. So I'll probably check the temperature to make sure they're getting up there. Okay, so I turn the heat off. So I'm gonna take these off and put them on a plate. And I'm holding my pan up so it'll cool off just a little bit, because I'm going to put my red wine in next to cook off some of this brown. Although I'm using a non-stick pan, so it really doesn't have any brown bits stuck in the bottom. Normally, you know, if you're worried about the brown bits, you're worried about you know, non-stick pan where it's stuck. So I'm going to take my red wine. I'm going to pour it in here. I'm going to turn my heat back on. For me, it's going to be 4, but it'd be medium for most people. And I'm going to dump my marinara sauce in there. Right, we just want to let the marinara sauce heat up just a little bit. And then I'm basically going to put my meatballs back in here and just make sure they're well coated. Okay, the meatballs are pretty well covered. Probably could have used a little bit smaller of a pan if I'd wanted to, but it's no big deal. So now you want to take your other half of your Parmesan and just sprinkle it over your meatballs. And then we're also going to do the mozzarella cheese over top of the meatballs. And then we're going to stick it in the oven. It says from 10 to 14 minutes. Basically, you just want to make sure your meatballs are cooked to an internal temperature of 165. I want to make sure I cover each meatball really good. So they're just going to bake basically until your cheese is good and melty and brown. And you want to, like I said, make sure your meatballs are good and cooked, because you don't want raw chicken, that's for sure. So if you look at the magazine, they've got it over, they say you can put it over pasta or zucchini, like zucchini, shredded zucchini. So you can do it over either way you want to do it. We're going to do pasta. We've got a handful of just Kroger spaghetti. So we're going to boil our water, cook it like pasta. I mean, that's all there is to it. Just cook it like regular spaghetti like you would anywhere. All right, spaghetti's all cooked and on the pan. The meatballs came out perfect. They look really, really nice. So I'm just going to use a spoon. I know I got a metal spoon, but I'm being very, very careful not to scrape the bottom. I did make sure they were cooked fully to 165. Actually, they ended up getting up to like, I don't know, 180, 175, even higher. So it's plenty hot enough. And if you want sauce, just scoop it out of the bottom. There's plenty there to be had. And I wanted to, they're both plated up now. I just wanted to cut one in half and let's see what it looks like on the inside. I mean, real nice and moist and tender. So yeah, we're gonna take it over to the table and I'm gonna try it out.
Okay, these look perfect. It looks really so good. Okay.
I'm gonna try just the meatball.
Just the meatballs?
Well, with sauce, of course.
Okay. Yeah, we're not used to buying ground chicken. That's just something that we do not buy normally. We buy ground beef, you know, but not ground chicken. It's hot, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. I was worried about them as mushy as they were when I started cooking them. I worried about them being really mushy and soft inside.
Right.
They're not. They're good and firm. I like the flavor of that. There's lots of seasoning in that. And those red chili flakes, red pepper flakes, give you just a little bit of a heat. Not like a lot, but just a little bit. You get a little bit of a spice in there.
I love it with the spaghetti, with the addition of the pasta, because it adds bulk to the meal, but it also adds to that texture. And the cheese, the amount of cheese that they have you put, it's the perfect amount. It's not too much. It doesn't make it too heavy. But I love the sauce. Of course, you can use whatever sauce you want. And if you want to use the fresh basil, stuff like that, you absolutely can. It's just that I'm going to cut corners wherever I can.
No, you can buy it in the little plastic containers. Yes.
And Ashley
just break it up and sprinkle it in.
Yeah, Ashley does that all the time. I would totally make this again. I think it's wonderful.
I think it's really good. Did you get that little heat from it? Just a little bit? No, a lot. It's not hot by any means.
It doesn't
just
burn.
A little bit of that, just a little kick from the crushed peppers. It's really nice.
Yeah, this is
super
what
easy.
I would consider like a stick to your ribs dinner. This is a heavy meal, but I love it. I think it's absolutely delicious.
Very, very good.
So if you all make it, you'll have to let me know. Like I said, I'll have the link below. And thanks for watching.